Well, I must have gotten mighty, mighty, mighty excited. The broadcast just stopped. I was like, oh, what in the world? And there was no way they didn't have a resume. At least I didn't see it. And I see what happened. I think my cursor was already on end stream, and when I was doing that, it hit it. So we're back. But anyway, as I was saying, you have to know that you don't do those things. I was talking about royalty. Royalty comes out knowing who they are. They don't even care what the word is on the street. You know why? You never saw Queen Elizabeth worry about what people were saying. She knew who she was, she knew what she was there to do, and she carried on. Whoever didn't like her, well, that was their problem. Whatever opinions others had about her that was opposite of her opinions of herself, that was their opinions. She didn't care. She kept being Queen Elizabeth. She kept being Queen Elizabeth. Okay. And in being who she was, that's all you saw. You didn't see anything else. You saw that. Her husband, she carried herself in the mindset of a queen to the point that her husband gave up his position of being king so that she could be queen. And he was just Prince Phillips. Prince Philip. Now, you really have to be walking in a mindset of knowing, not guessing, not wondering, but knowing who you are. Knowing who you are for your husband to forfeit his kingship so you could have your queenship. My God. Just think about that for a moment. She walked in who she was. Now, why couldn't they both have been king and queen? We don't know. But we do know she knew who she was to the point it didn't bother him. He knew who he was. Didn't matter about the title. He operated as a king without the title. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I want you to do. I want you to operate as who you are. I want your words to match your creator's word. I want your words to change your life because nobody else's words will. That's what I need you to understand. Nobody else's words will change your life. Your words will change your life. And you have got to know that. You have to know that. You have to know that. You have to understand that. You have to. And I am here as your coach to guide you. You know how you go up to the car wash and they've got guides for your wheels to be in, and you're riding toward them, and sometime they'll do that or they'll do that because what they're saying is you got to come in the direction where your tires can go smoothly through the guide going through the car wash, like Whistle or Tide Wave, one of them, Autobell, and even in Autobell, it's the same thing. It's just when you get out, you pull your car around and they clean it. But those car washes have a guide for your wheels. And if you're too far over this way, they tell you to go that way. And if you're too far over that way, they tell you to come this way. And that's what I am. I'm here to put you in that guide so that you can go on through life looking at the awesomeness you were made with. Okay? But it's your words. It's your words. We read Proverbs 18:21. Death and life lieth in the power of that thing right there. That little pink thing that helps you talk. Yeah. Death and life lieth in the power of the tongue. And those that love it will eat the fruit thereof. So if you love speaking death to yourself, you love speaking condemnation to yourself, that's what you're going to eat. You're not going to get anything accomplished. You're not going to be successful because you told yourself, you spoke condemnation and death over your life. You did. But if you speak affirmation and life over your life and over yourself, you'll begin to rise. You'll begin to rise. You will begin to rise. With that said, I want you to spend the rest of today, the rest of the week, the weekend. You'll start to a brand new week, Sunday, Monday. I want you to just say things. Every time it comes up for you to say something negative, you say, I'm not saying that. That's not who I am. That's not who I am. And you say, well, I don't know any holy writing sayings to say over myself. Google, what does God say about me? And you will get a plethora of scriptures, verses that come up to let you know how he feels and thinks about you. Begin to memorize them and quote them and say them. Begin to walk in them. This is who I am. I am good and very good. I am a king's child. I am fearfully and carefully. Fearfully is carefully, precisely, and wonderfully made. I'm a marvelous work. And I'm going to do marvelous things because I was made a marvelous work. I'm royalty. I watch what I do. I watch who I attach myself to. I watch who I allow in my inner circle to have access to me because I'm royalty. Everybody can't have access to me because I'm royalty. See, those are the things you have to say. And there's bukus more. But those are the things you have to say. Those are the things you have to say. Every day, when something negative comes up, no, that's not me. I'm transformed by this new mind that I now have. My fresh start is being maintained because of my new image that it has birthed out. A fresh start brings a new image because your mind now does not think about the negativity. It thinks about the positivity. It thinks about the royalty. It thinks about it. and that you are that person. You are chosen. You are chosen. Okay? Excuse me. You are chosen. And people don't just choose people. You remember when, I don't know if you any of you all had this experience, but when we were in school in my generation, there were times the teacher had spelling bees and different things, and she'd have captains, and she would have the captains to choose who they wanted on their team. And the captains would choose, I want this one. Excuse me, all right. Next captain, I want that one. And then back to the other captain, I want him. The other captain, I want him. And they would keep going until they got down to the last. And sometimes the last was the one neither one wanted. And the teacher would say, okay, whoever's next, you got one last person. I don't want them on my team. Can you imagine what that did? But then whoever team the teacher put them on, they wind up winning the spelling bee for them. Now, can you imagine? But that person only won that spelling bee for them because they knew who they were, in spite of not being wanted by either. You see, in spite of not being wanted by either, they still knew who they were. So I want you to know it's your words. Matthew 12:37. By thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Proverbs 18:21. Death and life lieth in the power of the tongue. They that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Are you paying attention to what you are saying about you? Pay attention and watch your life change, because you're not letting any more condemnation and any more death come out of your mouth about you. And if you're not going to do it about you, you're not going to do it about anybody, because they're just as important as you are. And the same thing you want for yourself, you should want for somebody else. Okay? Pay attention to what you are saying about yourself, and say nothing opposite of what your Heavenly Father, your Creator, God, I call him Daddy, have said about you. You say exactly what he says and continue to say it, and watch how your life transforms. I've enjoyed being with you this week, and I hope you will join me next week on Tuesday. And we're going into you paying attention to reciprocation. All right? Have a good one.